Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be around this globe. You know, it certainly is a beautiful morning, y'all. It's a beautiful morning to get those things done that you have intent to do for such a long time. You know, today is such a beautiful day, and it doesn't matter, y'all, about what it may look like on the outside, but on the inside of you. Are you joyful today? Are you, just beaming with this radiance, that's coming from you? Everything that you need, I want to let you know, it's already inside of you. And today we're going to be talking about that. You're more than enough. And this is something that you have to realize, that you are more than enough. Okay? You are that atmosphere shifter. You are that changer, that world changer. And you have to believe it. You have to see yourself as brilliance, as multifaceted, as having value, as having worth. That's what we talk about, on this program, Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. We talk about that. We talk about you recognizing who you are, about you finding out what you have on the inside of you that you could bring to the table. Because I want to let you know, you are worth it. You are somebody. And don't let anybody, diminish you, cause you to diminish yourself. Put it that way. Because a lot of things what people do, they do things to themselves by what they hear people saying or what they're seeing, because maybe they're saying to themselves, well, I'm not as great as that one, and I'm not as, brilliant as that one, or knowledgeable as the next one. And I want to let you know that you are more than enough, that you're running on in your own race, on your own time clock. And you should never compare yourself to anybody else. Okay? Never do that, because each of us have a design pathway that we're walking on, that we're traveling down to meet our ultimate goal, or to reach our ultimate goal. And, you should look at yourself and say, I am more than enough. And learn how to appreciate you and see your value and see your worth. And that's something that I teach women to do. I teach women how to value themselves, how to have that self confidence where they can say, I'm more than enough. I appreciate me. You know, I appreciate me. I remember there was a time in my life where I didn't appreciate who I was. That's because I didn't know who I was. Now, is that, resonating with any of you out there? Maybe you don't appreciate who you are because you don't recognize, or you don't know who you are. And that plays a big part. It might be just a simple statement, but trust me, that simple statement has a lot of weight on the way you treat yourself, the way you see yourself, the way you feel about yourself. There was a time in my life where I didn't like myself. Truly, I did not like myself. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I sound. I didn't like, anything about myself. And I was always looking at the next person and say, I wish I could sound that way. Even tried to change my voice. I didn't recognize the uniqueness of my voice, why I had a certain tone about it, why I had, why my voice sounded a certain way. Those simple, minute things. But once you come into a knowledge of who you are, things change. You'll begin to see things differently. You'll begin to appreciate yourself more. You'll begin to be unapologetically you. And That's what happens a lot of times in life, y'all. And this is a true story in life. And you know it's the truth. Why, we intend to do something. For example, writing our books or starting that business or completing the journey, in writing our books because it's a writing journey. Or, just stopping when you create a business or open a business, and just stop there. You're not even thinking about writing a book or how far you could advance your business or your writing because you're not seeing your value. You're not seeing your worth. And when I talk about it, and let me introduce myself right here before I, dive into it. I'm Gertrude J. Chapman, and I teach you how to maximize your potential and stop leaving money on the table. I've been there, y'all. I've been there. And I coach you how to, write your books because I am that book coach. Okay, I am that book coach. But as you're, looking at these broadcasts day by day, week by week, you'll understand that I'm taking you on a journey. You understand that there's much more for you than just writing that one book or just opening that business without writing that book. So I hope that, what you're being taught on these programs will advance you and help you to expand your mindset, to really take time out to find out who you really are and to appreciate yourself. Because I want to tell you, you are more than enough. You are more than enough. A lot of times, what happens is we try to pull things from the outside into ourselves in order to evaluate ourselves, put it that way, or, make us feel important, if I may say. When all the time we have what we need already on the inside of us. And it's no need to really pull things inside of us in order to, value us. That's the word I was looking for, to bring value into us when we already have value inside of us. And we're not recognizing that. And I know I keep saying this, we're not recognizing that. But it's so, so true. It's so true. And not until we come to a place where we come to the end of ourselves and we take that time out, because it's a time, you have to take time out to really sit down and, find out who you are. Who am I really? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Who am I? And what is my purpose? And why am I here? That's something that, each of us should, think about. And here's another question that you could ask yourself. How much am I worth? Have you ever sat down and calculated how much you are worth? And I'm not talking about, monies from a job or monies from investments or monies from here or monies from there, but how much are you worth? What are your internal treasures, your internal gems? How much are you worth? Can you even put a price tag on it? because I'm talking to an audience of very intelligent, knowledgeable people. You might not think that you're intelligent and knowledgeable, but yes, you are. Yes, you are. And you have to find out where your wisdom lies. Where is it that all that brilliance is lying? It's not just existing, but it's about living on purpose, y'all. Living on purpose. Living your life on purpose. Fulfilling your purpose on this earth. And once you could answer that, your monetary value, once you could answer, your usefulness, okay? Once you could answer your importance and stop allowing everything else to be more important, or, things, people, places, and things being more important than you, it will open up a whole different mindset for you. This is a journey, the journey of life, okay? That's supposed to be enjoyable. It's not saying that obstacles won't try to come to, knock you off your path. But that's the whole purpose of framing your day. Getting up early in the morning and framing your day. Just like a person that's building a house, they're putting those plans together because they want a certain type of house with certain amenities in it. And they begin constructing that plan. Frame your day the same way. First thing, before you even do that, before you get in the presence of others, you get in the presence of God and you empty out yourself. And you ask him to fill you with what you need for that particular day. And then you get in the mirror and you talk to yourself. You begin to affirm yourself. You begin to say good things about yourself. You begin to call those things that are not as though they were. Maybe you're not so good at this, but say that you are. Say that you are. Speak to yourself. Line yourself up with your purpose, what you're going for, instead of just aiming at things without a goal, just wherever it may hit, that's where it lies. Begin to frame your day. And you'll recognize that you're more than enough. With all these tips that I've given you, that you're more than enough. Now, here's an affirmation that, is worth repeating. And I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. And I want you to say this with me. I am that investment. I am worth my value. You are that investment. That's why you should always invest in moving yourself to a better place than what you are currently experiencing. Don't ever neglect to invest in yourself and put anything that's going to depreciate in value over you gaining knowledge or wisdom of your purpose, what you intend to do. What is it that, you said that you're an expert in? Don't ever neglect that. I am that investment. You are that investment. And you're worthy of it. You are worth your value. You have to see it that way. Good morning, Cynthia. How you doing today? Glad that you're here with me today on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. You know, your work, your value. So don't ever think that you're not more than enough, because yes, you are. But you have to do those first works and, get to know who you really are. Now, let us dive into this when I'm talking about, you're more than enough with the first talking point, appreciating yourself. The first talking point I want to talk about is appreciating your uniqueness, because you're unique and you're wonderfully made. And you have something inside of you that connects you to your audience. You know, a lot of times people, they don't appreciate their uniqueness. I just told you about me. Okay. I told you about me. I didn't like anything about me, especially my voice. Okay. I tried to disguise it, y'all, but I couldn't, because I tried it one time and somebody told me, Gertrude, is that you? What's wrong with your voice? You know? But once I came into the realization of why my voice was a certain way, I began to understand and appreciate, my uniqueness. You're more than enough, y'all. You're more than enough. Let's see. Enjoying myself. Thank you for sharing. Well, you're welcome. You are very, very welcome. And I appreciate all of our viewers, all of our followers, that's here with us today, and even during the duration of all of our broadcasts. We welcome you and we appreciate you, and that's from the bottom of my heart. But always appreciate your uniqueness. What is it about you? Think about this. I want you to think about this right now. What is it about you that speaks volumes? Think about that. What is it about you that speaks volumes? What is it about you that propels you forward? What is it? These are things that you should notice in yourself, because the more you notice it, and the more, not only notice it, but know it, the more you will be able to connect with those that you are called to serve. And, that's your audience. That's the people that are answering the questions. Good morning, Lucky. How you doing today? Great seeing you. Let's see. I am creative, outspoken, and optimistic. That is true. Creative, outspoken, and optimistic. And I'm glad that you own up to that. That is always, something that we should, recognize in ourselves, our uniqueness. But what is that thing, okay, that you have noticed that makes you attractive to others? What is that thing? And like I said, you are an expert in your field. You have expertise somewhere. You're answering the questions that your audience is asking. There's no time to apologize for who you are. Be unapologetically you and appreciate your uniqueness. Appreciate it. No matter what you may have heard in the past, no matter what people have said about you. We talked about that on previous broadcasts. I talked about that. So I'm not going to go into that and repeat that, because that's just a long scenario, because that was over different broadcasts. But I want you to appreciate you. If nobody else appreciates you, you appreciate you. And with appreciation, you have to also learn how to celebrate you. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate those milestones. Celebrate those things that will encourage you to go forward in your design path. It doesn't have to be expensive, but make it exquisite. Okay? Because you are worth it. You are more than enough. You are more than enough. You don't need other things to pull into your life in order to say, well, you have value and you have worth. Because you have everything that you need that's already inside of you. A matter of fact, what you have inside of you is running over. Okay? It's running over. There's so much inside of you. Those gems, those treasures. And as you walk down your design pathway in order to reach your ultimate goals, these things will become evident to you. Things that you didn't even know that was inside of you. It's an enjoyable journey when you connect up and you understand and you're able to see that you're more than enough. So always, y'all, appreciate your uniqueness. Appreciate your uniqueness. And like I said, it could be anything. I didn't like anything. I didn't like the color of my skin. I didn't like my hair texture. I didn't like my voice. I didn't like my weight. But once I came into the knowledge of that, y'all, it just changed me. It changed my mindset. Okay? It changed my mindset. And don't ever compare yourself to anybody else, because that's where it starts. When you begin to compare yourself and wishing that you were a certain way. Okay? Just appreciate who you are. Enhance those things that needs to be enhanced. Okay? Minimize those things that need to be minimized. If that makes you, feel a certain way. But appreciate who you are. We only have one life to live. Just one life. So let's make it the best. Let's go to the comments. Yes, there's only one of you. Yeah, there's only one of us. Only one. And that's the great thing, There's only one of us. So for our life on this earth, our journey on this earth, let's do our best. Let's live our best life. Our best life. And let me tell you, the best is ahead of us. There's so much, in front of us. So let's make this the best life, the best journey, no matter what. And like I said, when you get up and you frame your day, it's not saying that things won't try to encroach, throughout your day, try to invade, your space or anything. But then you'll be able to see them and you'll know how to, overcome those things, ignore those things, or just disintegrate those things. Okay? It's a journey. And the more you come into this, the more knowledge that you come into this, it'll ease your mind, y'all. Let me tell you, it'll take the stress off. Things that I used to walk the floor about, staying up all night long, it doesn't bother me anymore. Okay? It makes a big difference. Let's see. Minimize the negative, accentuate the positive. That's true. That is so true. Takes the stress off, Lucky. It really, really does. It really does. Embrace all that is you and allow it to be magnified. That's it. Allow it to be magnified. When you come in, wherever you say you're an expert in these fields, y'all, you say you're an expert, okay, you show up powerfully. You show up powerfully. You don't hold back on anything. You show up powerfully. Okay? You be that expert. You be that person that your audience is looking for, that expert that your audience is looking for. Don't you come in there shy. You show up powerfully with everything that you have. Okay. And when you show up that way, more and more will come from you. Okay. And you begin to see that the more power, the more energy that's coming from you, the more it will attract your audience to you. Everything is about energy, y'all. Everything is about energy. That's why it's not what we could bring inside of us, but it's what that comes out of us that's attractive. Okay, that attracts our audience. But you show up, and you show up powerfully. Own your value. Own who you are. Okay, make no excuses for who you are. You own it. Let's go to the next one. Knowing your purpose. Okay, knowing your purpose. You think about this. Who am I called to serve? Ask yourself that question. Who am I called to serve? You have to know it. Who you called to serve. Yeah, and you have to get in the game. You have to be active in this journey. Okay? And find out, who am I called to serve? Your aim is something that, when I'm talking about your aim, it's something that fascinates you, something that intrigues you, something that lights you up. You can't aim aimlessly. Yesterday, I talked about people that's blinded. They blinded on their vision. They don't know their vision. They can't see. Okay? They can't see because they have this going on. They have that going on. They have something else going on. And I'm saying, and let me break it down, okay? Because you could have more than one thing going on in your design journey, okay? But say that you're doing hair over here. The next day, you're frying chicken over here. The next day, you're doing something else, okay? What is the path? Either you're a cook, or you're a hairdresser, or you're something else. Which one are you? You can't be all over the place. So you have to aim for something, or you'll just miss it. Okay? You'll miss it. People who are all scattered, they do not have a vision of where they're going. They're just wherever it hits. Okay? I'll get money over here. I'll get money over there. I'll get money over here. They're just picking up pennies because they're not maximizing their potential. And I'm going to just let you know, you're trying to get money here. You're trying to get money there. You're trying to get money here. You're trying to get money from every which way. But now you're burning yourself out. Now you're confused. Now you have bad attitude. All of these things. You have to know your purpose. Okay? And be ironclad about it. Know your purpose. Where you could walk down your design pathway and you can maximize your potential. You can maximize your potential, your design. What can you create? What can you create? Knowing your purpose. You could create a lot of things by knowing your purpose. Whether it's that message, y'all, whether it's that in that book, whether it's that product, whether it's that service, know your purpose. Who are you called to serve? Now let's move into the next talking point. We're going to talk about using your talents, okay? What do you have in your hands? What is it? What's in your hands? What's in your ability? What do you have that you could turn it into a monetary return? I told you about me climbing that corporate ladder, okay? Yo, I love real estate, okay? I was brought up in that. I have worked in every area of real estate. My parents did it, okay? Buying and rehabbing property, owning property. I've bought and rehab property. I've, sold property. I was a realtor. I, did mortgages. I did those things, but it wasn't fulfilling. Okay. Until I came to a point in my life when I told you about the double layoffs in 2006 in the housing industry, when I was working for the new home builder and we all got laid off. It happened to me twice, back to back. Until I came to a point, what was in my hands? What did I have the ability in me to turn into a monetary value. Okay. I took my hobby, which was writing books, what I just did for fun. I wasn't selling them at that time. I was just giving them away to the people that I had, the attendees at conferences when I used to go to the nonprofits, just to give them something in their hands where they could remember the talking points that I was talking about. But I turned that around and I began, selling my books. And then from that, my friends was noticing my success. And they were asking me how to write books. So I started teaching them how to write books. They referred their friends over to me. I taught them how to write books, all for a monetary return now. And then I started publishing their books, putting it up on the platforms and publishing their books. So what are your talents? What do you have in your hands that could bring you a monetary return? Before that double layoff, I didn't know that about me. So that's why you have to sit back and investigate, what do you have to bring to the table? What do you have that could cause you a monetary return? I worked in food service for over 18 years, but it's not my calling. And I'm glad you realize that. Haven't we all been places and worked in different places that wasn't our calling? Because we didn't know it. Okay, we didn't know. We were trying to do what we've been taught. Get out there, get a job. First thing, get out there, get a good education, graduate, go to college, get a good job with benefits, go out there in the workforce. If you couldn't get that job, just find a job. You got to pay the bills. Okay, that's what we were taught. We've all done that. I got tired of working toward a fantasy of job security. You know what, Josh? I'm laughing because that is true. A fantasy of job security. And that's exactly what it is. And we know there is no job security. Not at all. Not at all. And we found that out even more with the pandemic, right? But some of us realized that beforehand, and sometimes people don't even know that there is no job security and great benefits and all of those things. You remember that? We were taught that. But it's inside of us, y'all. We are more than enough. Everything we need is on the inside of us. Everything that we need. So don't forget to use your talents, because your talents, as you're walking forward, okay? As you're walking forward in your design journey, your design pathway, your talents begin to multiply. It opens up into other things. And like I said, yes, I'm that book coach. You might say, well, Gertrude, you were saying you was a book coach and blah, 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 blase, blase. Yes, I am. But I'm taking you down the journey. Okay? I'm taking you down the journey to maximize your potential, because I tell you, your book is just a gateway. That's all it is. It's a gateway. It's a tool. It's going to open up many, many opportunities for you. So it begins to multiply. But you have to start somewhere. So if there's some of you who haven't written your book and you say, well, one day I want to write a book. Well, today is that perfect day to start writing that book. There's no time like the present, because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. So begin today. Begin today. Make it a habit to sit down and take some time out for yourself. Take some time out for yourself. And if you're that entrepreneur and you haven't written your book yet, you're leaving money on the table. What are you waiting for? Okay, don't stop short of, maximizing your potential, because there's much more to you than you can ever realize. Okay, and you'll never see it if you're stuck or just sitting in this solitary place. You'll never see it. You have to start moving toward it, not only forward, but upward. Okay. I want you to always remember this, an upward movement, upward. because you're growing, you're expanding with each step that you take. Let's go to this next talking point. Reaching your assigned audience. I'm going to ask you this question. Are you correctly positioned, or are you all over the place? Be in a correct position, because opportunities pass us every day. Okay? We have to be in a correct position in order to meet those opportunities. That's why I said invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to a level that you expect results. Because if an opportunity opens up and you're not prepared, you're going to miss it. Or you're going to rush. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to be stressed out. You have to be prepared. You have to be in position when that opportunity is coming, that you'll meet up with it. How many opportunities have you missed because you weren't in your correct position? Position means a place in your mind with the right connections. Okay? A place in your mind or with the right connections. Everybody cannot be in your circle, because you could be influenced by people and it will pull you out of position. Make sure when you do partnerships and collaborations that it doesn't come to sway you or pull you out of position. You might say, well, I'm that strong individual. Nobody's going to do that to me. I thought that too. I thought that too, especially when you have a heart to help people. And like I said, this happened to me, where I thought on my journey, and I kind of put my stuff on the back burner. I wasn't giving it my 100%, put it that way. Trying to help somebody who, to bring their vision forward. Putting them under my wing like it was my vision, carrying their vision. Because they knew that I had the energy to do it. Okay? I'm being truthful now. I'm being transparent because I want you to see this. This is something that we do sometimes, but we shouldn't. And I had to get back in position. I had to drop that. I had to let it go. But I did that for, let me see, about three years. About 3 years. I did that. So make sure that you're always in position. A lot of these things that I'm teaching you, I learned it. Okay? I learned it. But I want to teach you this because if I teach you this, that will help you from making those mistakes. And I had to get back on track. When you reach your audience, your assigned audience, think about this. Who's listening for your voice? Who's listening for your voice? Be in correct position, that they will be able to find you, that they will be able to see you, that they'll be able to connect with you. Who's listening for your voice? Are you showing up as an expert in your field? Show up, and show up powerfully. Don't play peekaboo. Show up powerfully. My assignment is doing these live streams Monday through Friday, taped on the weekend, to line up and reach my assigned audience. Reaching my, when you start something, you got to continue to do it. Got to continue to do it. You can't start something and stop it, or, at a certain time. If I say I'm coming on at 10 o'clock, I'm here at 10 o'clock. If I say my broadcast on Saturday 7 o'clock, it's on 7 o'clock. That's a tape one. A tape one's also on Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m. That's what it's going to be. But show up. Don't say it's going to be 10 o'clock and you show up at 11:30 or 10:15. Okay? You got to show up. You got to reach your audience. You got to be in position. It's very precise because they're looking for you and they're expecting you to show up at a certain time, a certain place. They're expecting that. So don't, disappoint them, because in disappointing them, what's going to happen? You're going to lose out. You're going to lose out. You're going to lose creditability. And there's people, y'all, on these internet streets. I've been on these internet streets for a while now. And there are people, there was this lady that I was following. I forgot how many years. Maybe it's been 5 years now. She was very, very consistent. And I understand things happen because things happen in all of our lives. But then, she started getting, maybe after the fifth year, she's not consistent as she should be. But she teaches consistency. And it shouldn't be, y'all. You should be consistent because your audience is looking for you. Where I would look for, she would say she would have these things going on a certain time. I go over there, I set my notifications on Facebook. She didn't show up. Maybe an hour later, she showed up, if she showed up. You're more than enough. Reach your assigned audience, okay? Here's another one. And it's the last talking point. Creating opportunities. Attend to your goals. That means pay attention. Attend to it. Pay attention. If you have a goal, you pay attention to it each and every day. You don't allow your vision, your goals, your plans, your strategies just sit there or tucking them away in a drawer. Pay attention to it every day. Create those opportunities. There's opportunities that you could create. You should never have to wait on others to help you. There's certain things that you need help with. But you as a visionary, you should have enough power inside of you, enough energy to push your vision forward. Pushing it forward. Create those opportunities. You don't have to wait on anybody to, open a opportunity for you. You create your opportunities. Create that, whatever it is, that live stream, that webinar, that seminar, that Zoom meeting, okay? Whether it's online or if you're going to open up an event, in-person event at a venue, you do it. Create opportunities. You have to be creative. You are more than enough. If nobody want to help you, there's somebody out there that will. You have to know how to initiate people, get people excited about your brand, about your vision. But first, you have to be excited about it. You have to see what you have on the inside of you that you could work with. Create those opportunities. Stop waiting around for people. I talked about this yesterday. Stop waiting around. Go hard. Go all in. Some of you in the audience, you may not be going all in. Maybe you have 1 foot over here. You know, you're going forward, you got 1 foot on the other side because you say, what if? Suppose this. But, you know, you use all those things. You got to go hard. You got to go all in. You got to launch out in the deep. You got to believe in yourself. You have to have faith. When you have faith that you're going to make it, when you have faith that you're all in, you could go. There's nothing that could stop you. You have to be committed. Okay? You have to be committed because you're more than enough. You have everything inside of you to take your vision and maximize your potential. You have everything. So stop waiting around and waiting on people to help you. If they're not there to help you, you have to think about what can you do to initiate people to come on board with your vision. And again, that's the right partnerships and the right collaborations, those that are designed for your design journey. You just don't collaborate and partner with everybody, y'all. It's got to be according to the design journey. Okay? You have to be wise about that. So I hope that, you know, what I have shared with you today has ignited you to see that you're more than enough and to appreciate who God has called you to be, who you're designed to be. You have purpose, y'all. You have worth. You are brilliant. Okay, you are brilliant. And there's brilliance on the inside of you. You're that multifaceted gem that's just, you know, sitting there that people are looking to partake with. There's so much inside of you that you don't even realize. And I want you, you know, to understand that you don't have to apologize for anything. True collaborations have to be cultivated. Yes, they do, Lucky. They have to be cultivated. You know, true collaborations. And collaborations are very important. Very, very important. Because they not only help us with our audience, but all of the audience that's involved in the collaborations. Because it gives everybody, all of those audience, just what they need. So, you know, when we talk about collaborations, when we're talking about partnerships, it could never be with a selfish mindset where a person, there's people that want to take. It has to be given. It has to be unity. Everything has to be, you know, equally shared. It's a beautiful thing when it's done right. And yes, it has to be cultivated. But like I said, I thank you for, you know, joining me today with, you know, you're more than enough and, you know, helping you to appreciate your uniqueness, to point out to you that you have to know your purpose because that makes a whole lot of difference in your life, and to use your talents to bring in those monetary returns and to reach your assigned audience. Stop being all over the place, but reaching your assigned audience with focus and to go hard. Okay, go all in. Don't hold back and create opportunities. Stop waiting on others to help you. You create it. You make it happen. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join me today on this segment of Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. And I want you to remember this, that this is your time, this is your season, this is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.